Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM21. It's Stage Racer. We're on episode 59. Sorry, it's been a week since we already had the last episode in the series, and it very easily could have been another couple of days before we were going to have the next. I am just hard-pressed for time, and everywhere I look, something keeps happening. Something keeps coming up. For instance, I coach varsity basketball, and I just got notification half an hour ago that I'm down 2 players tonight, leaving myself. I only have 7 on my squad, leaving myself with just 5. So I've had to make arrangements to call up some JV players. I had to notify parents that they would be playing varsity, notify players. I had to arrange to get them jerseys, and I had to redo my lineup for tonight's game. So, fun times. I only have 16 players overall, so it is what it is, and we have a varsity and JV squad out of that. We're opening with stage 1 of the Tour de France. This is going to be a really quick episode because, well, I have to leave for said basketball game here relatively shortly. My team wants me to finish in the top 5 of today's stage, which is pushing it just a bit. I think top 10 seems realistic. Top 5, I don't know, but we'll see what we can do. I do have a complete team at my disposal. Did not expect that. I honestly thought that my team would kind of come up short on the selection process and give us maybe 6 overall. We do have 8 here. Camargo, Blicra, Alves are all here. That's going to give me some decent support. 14k on this, almost totally flat, though it does look like it undulates a little bit on the back half, but just in a very minor way. Let's take a look at the start order. I'm trying to milk whatever time I can get into this episode, to be honest with you, because, well, I'm pressed for time, so it is what it is. Okay, profile, roundabout, and come right on back. We're starting in Dusseldorf, as we know it in English. Anyway, Pegacher is here, and Ayuso to support him. Vanderpool to lead Alps and Phoenix. That shouldn't be much of a threat. That's more of a stage hunting type team, but Vanderpool is fairly decent. You have Vlasov with Barguil and Bernal and Carapaz and Gegenhardt and Sivikov. Ineos is stacked. You got Van Aert, Dumoulin, Roglic, but not the Roglic that he was, hence the number 45 there. Van Aert's definitely going to be the leader, but may not be a huge threat to us. Alaphilippe, Asgreen, Evenepoel, you're looking at Latour, you're looking at a lot of guys that absolutely can climb. Do they have a proper dedicated leader who's going to really go for GC? I don't know. By the way, I'm 60 away from going up, so we'll have to make this quick. Hamilton's here, Champison, Simon Yates. They have some climbers, but I don't know if they have contenders. Schachmann, Ackerman, Bookman. That's definitely their strong team. How strong are they, though? Almeida, Barta, Martin. Fairly good group. Almeida could be a contender. Moss, absolutely one of the favorites. Soler to support. Otherwise lacking. Berwick. Hindley is here. Ironsman. Bardet. They're decent, for sure. Looks like Red Bar is going to be the bigger focus today, so be looking 86, 87 in terms of effort. Gaudu. Paulus. Quintana. It's a pretty stacked field. It's not the hardest start list we've ever seen, though. What can we do in this one? Giro was a good race. It was a very good race. But what can we do here? And we set off. +3 race day condition. That is a very nice draw. 87 is just about, I think I'll have to do 86 part of the way, but we have settled into the saddle. We'll back off, make sure we get that red bar back under the happy zone as we continue on our merry way. Already coming up on the 10K banner. I really wish this time trial was longer, as that is more my strong suit, but I do have an 82 prologue today. with an 84 time trial, averaging out just about to an 83 or about an 82.8.9. Resistance also into the lower 80s. This should be a good time. We are already at the halfway point. We are turning back. There's only one time check. It's coming up here fairly soon. Rolling at an 86 is just about making it where we need to be. So that's about as hard as we can go right now. 15th, 11 seconds down at the first time check. That, not great, but I did set off the first few meters a little slow as I was kind of picking it out. And as this thing is really giving me a nasty left, right, left, right, left, right, that could be slowing me down significantly. We can now push 87 as we kind of head in through the technical section. We're coming up on Vanderpool at least, so that's good. We're definitely gaining time there. 1 kilometer to go. Back down to an 86, and we'll make one more final push at the end. And there you go. Still out of the top 10. We hold 11th position at 12 seconds behind. It's not a top 10, as I figured top 10 was a lot more realistic, even with a +3, even with managing that throughout, other than the first 50 meters where we were getting up to speed and maybe lost a second or two. We managed our pace very precisely throughout and still missed the top 10 by 1 second. But like I said, the top 10 seemed a lot more realistic than a top 5. I'm not a prologuer, time trialist. So even with the bonus today, we were good, but we weren't great. And there is better. Bjerg, Ghana, Craig Anderson, Van Aert, those guys are all stronger time trialists, even with the race day condition that I had. And we're at the Tour de France. Plenty of these guys are going to have a good, strong race day condition. Ivanovic is going to wear the jersey first. Let's get into stage number 2. As we head into stage 3, which is a very minor, punchy stage. Stage 2 was a sprint stage. I didn't even bother checking in on who won that thing. I still sit 11th place, so just outside of the top 10. There could be a chance to get back into the top 10 today, but as a non-punchy specialist, expectations are very low for this upcoming stage. Here's what matters to me at the moment, though. Fitness peak. Very important. I'm gaining 3 points per day of racing. I'll get 2.3 points on an off day. We'll have at least one of those. So right now I'm looking at 10 days of racing would get me to the 90 where I can trigger the fitness peak manually. 1 off day in between could actually shorten that to 9 more days of racing. Counting today. So stage 2 plus 9, we're looking at stage 11. That's half the race. That's half the race with a fitness peak. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. Fitness is already at 99%. Fatigue is definitely going to be something to watch out for, though. We'll have to kind of watch and see where I'm at on that. I have no tiredness now, currently. We'll see if we have some later. It's a long race. As previously noted, I'm very time constrained at the moment, so even though the stage just started, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit of content here in lead up to the end of the stage. Here's what I'm going to go over. The standings so far, so I bypass that to keep things moving right along so I could at least get through a couple stages for you today, get into the tour a little bit. Let's take a look at who these contenders are and what they're going to bring. Ivanovic, I don't know anything about this guy, so I have no idea what his ratings are like, but you can see he's fairly good on flat. He's not great as a climber. He's a time trialist. So look at his ratings. That's a pure time trialist. Van Aert, only 75 on the mountain. That's not going to be a contender at the Tour de France. Craig Anderson, same. He's a time trialist, first and foremost, of course. More known as a classics rider as well. Filippo Ganna, still not a top climber. These guys are all capable. They're not going to lose time on a day like today, most likely. Most likely, not guaranteed, but they'll be losing time as soon as we hit the mountains at the very least. All or most of them right away. Same with Barta. These are all your pure time trialists who came out really strong in that first stage. Bjerg, of course, always known as a time trialist. Sobrero, same. So the entire top 7 here, non-contenders. We are halfway point on the stage. I've got my team all set to auto, so they're fine. We've got a couple climbs here. I might drift back a little bit, and have drifted back a little bit. Let's up that effort a little more. Let my team do their thing for now. Powers, Jones, Blickra all struggling already. Delay looks like he's going to get water, and we will slow things down at some point. But as we continue on, we're down to 8th place. Evenipol, 76 mountains, 79 hills. He'll hang on a bit longer, but he is not going to be a contender. McNulty, 77 mountain, 75 hills. Okay resistance, same. He'll hang on, but he won't be around forever. Gegenhardt's the first time we get into somebody who is a strong outsider type chance, but Ineos is stacked. I see no reason why Gegenhardt would be their leader here, other than that he is the strongest time trialist. Is that enough to make him the leader, though? For us? Oh, sure, it would be. For somebody else? I don't see why. Alaphilippe, of course, with that punchiness and capability, he could hang on, he could threaten, he could win a stage like this, he could move himself into the race lead, wear the jersey for a while, and desperately hang on to it. Pogacar, of course, there's your first massive contender, your first favorite. Pogacar, Soler, both up there. Schachmann, Walter, isn't he pretty strong? No, he's okay. Paulus, Kamna, Pedersen is obviously not, but Asgreen, yeah. So we're looking at a handful of contenders right now up near the front, and maybe I'm the first pure, proper contender in the field. Down to 30k. Get ourselves back in position here. Race day condition, +1. That's the expected, as this is an objective, but I have nothing else. And as I already showed you before we entered the stage, that race day condition, I'm expecting about stage 11 or 12 to be able to trigger that fitness peak, depending on how the calendar works out. Well, let's go ahead and bring things on down with 25k to go. Looking at the profile, we have a couple little punchy climbs here coming up in the next little bit. I'm already in the nice, comfortable front position, so I'm not too worried about that. I do have Blickra for protection, which I certainly want through here, as I don't want to be wasting energy. And then we have that last punchy climb at the end. I do have an 80 hills rating today. That's not going to make me a contender, but that should get me comfortable near the front. Not a contender for top 3, that is. I might be able to get about a top 10 on the stage, but as a very pure puncher's day, there's no reason to believe that I'm going to be capable of upsetting the apple cart. 14k to go now. Position, recovering. I was conserving my energy through there. You don't need a lot for that final climb, but you certainly still need to have something in the tank. Speaking of, it's 2.1k. It's only 5% average, but it maxes out at 10. You can see it also is probably about a 7 or 8 for all but the final 500 meters, where it eases off. And that's probably where you want to be going full sprint.
It could be decisive.
All right, where is my support? Pedersen, get on up here, buddy. 11k to go. Alves is quite punchy. Get on up here. And where is Camargo? If you can, get up here as well. Where do we want? Ooh, okay. Come on. Delay. Not too far back. Not even a thing. I want Pedersen to move forward first because Camargo is out of place. So Pedersen, get on. It's 10k to go. Shoot. Let me redo this here. Get rid of these two. Leave them on auto. There you go. Alves, Camargo just because he's out of position, and then Pedersen, not a 99, but let's bring it on forward. Find that gap. Come on, squeeze through there. Bike exchange. Not a cool move. Not cool. Okay, 8k to go. Camargo in place. Let's run the switch around, and you're gonna go hard for your brief moment in time. Let's try to bring it forward. Okay, we're already coming up on the descent. It's time. He's done. Camargo, you've done your job. You gave me 80 meters of lead out. And look how well placed we are right now.
The riders are entering the last 5 kilometers of the stage.
I would tell him to sprint, but it doesn't want me to. Get him on the Transcend. Get me on the Gel. And we are doing some dirty work right now. We are taking a lot out of the legs of a lot of guys. Okay, Pedersen done. Alves to continue on that little bit longer. And 1.4 for me, huh? Let's follow Vlasov. Oh, Alves! Dirty move from Alves. Okay, just sprint. My own teammate just blocked me on the run in. Following Vlasov obviously didn't work out either. First guy coming in front was not attacking for himself. He was leading out and immediately was pulling over. So everybody else burst past him. It's Vanderpool for the win. Schachman, Hershey. Yeah, punchy guys, obviously. But I'll be on save time. That's the important part. And we'll hold our position. Gaps behind is what we're looking for. Let's hope we split this field up a little bit and have at least a few riders dropped. Right now, though, it's looking like you got about 163 on same time. Proper punchers took the top 5, followed up by your contenders, so you're kind of getting a look at some of those at least. A whole slew of Ineos riders who I think have to be the favorites based on just the pure dominating group of contenders. I mean, it's not just strong climbers. They have probably the 5 favorites, if you look at their squad, potentially anyway. Pogacar, of course, would certainly is no slouch himself, but Moss also. So, you know, if there was 7 favorites, 5 of them would be from the Ineos squad. I might be on the back end of that top 10. Certainly not a slouch, but same time, cross the board, up and down, way down. Through 164, so no time gaps there, meaning no change at the top. We remain 11th after 3 stages. Sorry it was so short, but I gotta get going. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.